guys, it's Kat with Get Kat Fit. These exercises are actually for those of you who have recently had a hip replacement. This was a request from one of our class members at Players Club. So thank you so much, Sharon, for giving me some feedback and some information. I know you want to send this out to your friend. So what we're going to do is before you start anything after having a replacement, you want to make sure that you're cleared from your doctor and that you're done with your physical therapy. And once you've gotten that clearance, then these exercises should be very helpful in strengthening those hip flexors, the legs, and all those muscles that you're going to need to make sure that that hip's nice and strong. So we're going to start out on a bench or a chair. If you have a chair or your bed or your couch, it doesn't matter where you are. If you can get on a firmer surface, that's better, but if not, you can still do these exercises on a couch, or if you're in your bed, you can do them over the side of the bed. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit towards the very edge of the bed. So your glutes, your booty, whatever you wanna call it, right on the very edge of the bed. You wanna sit up nice and tall. It's very important that you're sitting up tall for this exercise, because as we start doing it, a lot of times I see this because we're trying to get height in our leg. I don't want height in the leg kick. All you're gonna do is sit nice 90-degree angle, go ahead and flex one foot and straighten it out. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna lift and lower. Nice and slow, nice and smooth. Keep that core nice and tight. Just gonna do 10, this is 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're gonna go ahead and bring it in. Same thing other side, sit up nice and tall. Flex your foot. You're gonna squeeze and release. Squeeze, remember, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Don't want the foot to go clear up high. All we're doing is just working those little hip flexors and those quads. Nice tight core, squeeze, stay with my tempo. And go ahead and relax. Take a little break. We're gonna go into seated marches. So what you're gonna do, if you have very, very little strength in that replacement leg, you're gonna go ahead and you're just gonna go up onto your toe and try and pull that leg up as high as you can. It's a little bit more difficult seated than it is standing, but we still wanna strengthen those muscles, so it's important that we do both. So we're gonna sit tall. You're gonna go ahead and just lift, lift. We're just gonna march. Lift and lift. Really squeeze those hip flexors up, pulling that leg up nice and high. Lift, 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 lift. This is also for my Jean. She just had a hip replacement. I'm working on strengthening those legs. And go ahead and relax. So you did 10 marches, 1, 2, all the way through 10. Just gonna take a little break where you're gonna go ahead and do an external lift. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna twist your foot out to the side, still sitting up tall, and you're just gonna lift and lower. Your heel is leading this time rather than the straight leg lift that we did the first place. And this, you're gonna feel more in the inner thigh and those inner hip flexors. 2 more. Just really kick that heel up and release. Other side, same thing. You want to twist that foot out at an angle, so you're using that inner part of the leg to lift it. You're gonna take it nice and slow, sitting up tall, lift, lift. Now remember, don't lean back. I know it's hard, it gets a little tough. You start wanting to do this a little bit. Stand up, sit up tall. 9 and 10. Good, go ahead and shake it out. We are gonna go into sit stands. You wanna make sure in a narrow stance, and this is basically just, you're getting up from the seated position and you're gonna sit back down. If you need to help yourself, you can, but the most important thing is that you keep your booty behind you, okay? We're not pushing forward or doing anything like this. You're gonna keep your body tall, dig through your heels, and you're just gonna go ahead and stand up. Notice that my glutes are still behind me, And then you're gonna go ahead, and if you need to hold on, sit down, keeping your glutes behind you. But I want you to let go of this chair as soon as you can so that you can work those legs. Okay, so you're gonna squeeze, and then you're gonna keep that glute back there and sit down. Squeeze, keep the glutes back and sit down. If you're a little bit more advanced and you're able to do this, you're gonna try doing it with no hands. So you're gonna keep the weight in the heels, push up, keep those glutes behind you, and sit down. Squeeze, push up, and sit down. Squeeze, push up, and sit down. Don't lock those knees at the top, just get a nice little soft, dig through the heels, sit down, dig through the heels, and sit down. Great, that was awesome. Now the last exercise that we're gonna do is going to be a heel pull-in from a seated position. If you can't get down to the floor, you can use your bed or your couch if you're sitting up on your couch. If you are on a place that has material on it, you're gonna wanna grab a paper plate. It'll make your heels slide a lot more smoothly and you won't get stuck in the sheets pulling that heel up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the floor, but like I said, you work where you're comfortable. If you have tile, you can use a towel, just a little hand towel, or your sock. You can take your shoes off and use your socks. And again, if you have carpet or you're on a bed or you're on your couch, just grab a little paper plate and that's gonna just slide nice and smooth, just like that. Okay, so what you're gonna do, I'll use a towel since I am on tile and I have my shoes on. Just gonna dig that heel. Both legs are straight. You're sitting up nice and tall. Foot is flexed. You're gonna dig your heel and pull it in as far as you can and then press it out nice and smooth. Squeeze and pull it in as far as you can, then press it out nice and smooth. In and out. In and out. We're gonna do 5 more. 5, 4, really dig that heel and squeeze the hip flexors. 3, 2, and 1 more. Press it out, strong with that heel. You're gonna go ahead and switch legs. Always do both sides. Don't just work the one that you had your replacement on. You wanna make sure you work both so you keep your body balanced and in alignment. So you're gonna go ahead and dig and then press out. Dig all the way up and press out. Squeeze. Really squeeze it in. Three more, nice and smooth. Stay with my tempo. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and press it all the way out. Great job. Now we're gonna stretch. So you're gonna go ahead wherever you are, go back to your chair, or if you're on your bed or your couch still, you're just gonna go ahead and sit on the very edge of the couch. Just open those legs slightly and just go ahead and lean forward until you feel a nice stretch right in those hip flexors. Nice little stretch. Go ahead and bring it up slowly. 1 foot flexed, and you're just gonna hinge at the hips, okay? I don't want you to lean over like this. Hinge at the hips and press your chest towards the leg that's straight. You're just gonna go ahead and hold it until you feel a nice stretch down the back of the leg, behind the knee, down into the calf muscle. Go ahead and slowly bring it up. Other side, you're gonna press it out. Flex your foot. Hinge at the hips and press it down. Ooh, nice stretch to the hamstring. Again, behind the knee, down into the calf. Now, if you'd like to do this again, 2 sets, just go ahead and start the video over and you'll just follow me and do 2 sets. And if you can, try and do this twice a day, maybe in the morning when you first get up and at night before you go to bed, to start working on strengthening those legs and hip flexors. And then also, I'm just going to show you a couple of hip stretches you can do if you need to lengthen those hip flexors a little bit. One is you can sit on the side of a chair and you're just going to push one leg back. You're keeping one glute on the chair, and all you're doing is you're just gently pressing your hip flexor forward by squeezing your glute. Make sure your body is upright and leaning slightly back. You should feel a really deep stretch right in those hip flexors. Nice long stretch. Leaning slightly back, squeezing your glutes forward as you're leaning back. Nice counter stretch. Now go ahead and bring it in carefully. And then again, you'll switch to the other side. All you want to do is just going to go into like a wide lunge position, sitting up tall, leaning slightly back as you're pushing those glutes forward. Nice stretch through that hip flexor. Nice long stretch. And go ahead and bring it forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And give yourselves a bow. Great job today. I hope this is helpful. If you find it helpful, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.